All right, guys, so I'm just going to dive right into my portion of what we're trying to teach you guys here today. The whole purpose of this is to teach you how to incorporate health and healthy eating, health education into your curriculum. It's also how to incorporate physical activity into your curriculum. With the getting rid of the physical education department, it's now on you guys to go ahead and teach these lessons. So it's important for us to give you the key points on how to get that done. I personally feel like before I can get into telling you how to get it done, it's important to tell you why. Why is physical education important? What is physical education? Is it just physical activity? Is it mental health? What exactly all it entails. I think it's really important to note that there's physical education and then there's also physical activity. And a high quality physical education program incorporates physical activity and other objectives. All right, so we're going to first go in with defining what is physical education. Well, physical education helps students develop the skills, knowledge, and competencies to live healthy and physically active lives at school and for the rest of their life. Physical education teaches students through the act of a physical activity. What are some of the benefits of physical activity? Well, there's many obvious benefits of physical activity, besides having a healthier body and being overall generally more healthy. It builds healthy bones. So physical activity will help you with your bone strength. It'll improve your regular strength and your endurance. And it will also reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. So something that I learned while I was researching this topic was that the number of children suffering from mental health issues in the United States is on a steady rise. Without early intervention, these issues can develop into more significant problems into adulthood. And this is something that, it's just the research over the past decade. It's alarming, guys. The level of everything that's been going on, pre-COVID, even after COVID, I'm sure, not just for students, for everybody, mental health is an issue right now. So we need to try to figure out how to overcome those issues. And one of the most beneficial ways, other than medication, is through physical activity. All right, let's see. So we're going to just move right along. The CDC estimates that 1 in 7 children ages 2 to 8 will have a mental, behavior, or developmental disorders. The mental issues at a younger age, we're learning they're younger and younger. It's no longer an adult issue or a teenager issue. It affects students as early as 2. They also noted that 1 in 5 children ages 13 to 18 will experience a severe mental illness at some point in their lives. So it's alarming. Another benefit on why we need to teach it or what it is physical activity also helps control weight and minimizes the risk of obesity. That's another health issue that's on the rise in the United States. Childhood obesity is a severe problem, putting children and adolescents at risk for poor health. Obesity prevalence among children and adolescents it's too high. There needs to be a focus on healthy eating habits and alternative food choices. Jade is going to be covering those options in section 2 of this presentation. There's a lot of information on there on how to get these students to be able to eat healthy. There's a lot of social economic statuses. There's a lot of things that go into why kids eat the way that they eat. And as educators, we have the ability to change that. We have the ability to go through and teach these children how to make a better decision with what is available at their house. Not everybody has access to healthy foods. Not everybody has access to a home-cooked meal every night. But with some tips, we can definitely help them to make a better decision or how to modify what is available to them to fit into a more healthier food choice. A lot of that has to do with at the cafeteria, what's being offered there and the way that the food is lined up. When you walk in, there's normally like the higher carbs and the junk food going into the healthier food towards the end of the line. Through this health education program, we will be able to teach students how to make those better decisions when they get through that line and not just load up on the pizza and the burgers, but also maybe grab, a salad and a fruit. But again, Jade will go over portions and everything in her part of the presentation. Physical activity also helps improve blood pressure and the cholesterol levels. And it's crazy to think that students have to think about that, but that is an issue that is happening with these high obesity rates. High cholesterol and blood pressure put a strain on your heart. They can lead to strokes or heart attacks early in life. You know, these students deserve to live long, healthy lives. And this program is going to help them to get on that track without the traditional PE program that we had before. You know, you guys are all the PE program now. We all have to work together to achieve the same goal. And I believe through lesson planning and team building and working together that we can ultimately achieve that. Physical activity also has positive effects on learning and on the student in the classroom. So a couple of those effects are, you know, it increases concentration. It increases the attentiveness that the students have in class. That higher concentration and for them being more attentive, that will lead to better grades and better classroom behavior, and that benefits everybody. You know, it limits class disruptions, and it makes it to where everyone else now can do their job and can focus and learn the concept that is being taught without the disruptiveness of the kids. You know, another thing I found was that the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services recommends 60 minutes of daily physical activity for ages 6 through 17. Research shows that behavior habits established during childhood often prevail into adulthood. That is the main point. That is the why, not the how, the why. We want these students to learn these lessons so that way they can take them into the adulthood. Let's break that cycle. Healthy adults will help create healthy children. Students need that time. They need to burn off that extra energy. You know, sitting in class all day without any physical activity, that will make students restless. It'll lead to boredom. And when boredom and restlessness sits in, the behavior issues arrive. Other than physical activity, there's other objectives that we are trying to conquer in this quality physical education program. We are trying to teach and promote self-discipline. You know, it's not just about doing the activity. It's not about how good we can score 3-pointers or how good we perform, how many points we get in the basketball game. It's also about what we're learning while through the activity. You know, we need to learn self-discipline, teamwork. It promotes the development of student responsibility for health and for fitness. Physical education will influence moral development, leadership, and cooperation. Like I said, teamwork. It helps people work together to solve problems. You know, those things they can use for many aspects of their lives. It also helps strengthen peer relationships. You know, it builds on creating those long-lasting relationships, creating friends, and making school a more enjoyable experience. And I think a really good focus is it gives them experience in not only setting a goal, but on achieving a goal. It will help them to learn the baby steps, you know, making one big goal and how you can break it up into mini goals to reach what you're trying to reach. I've said this a million times. Technology is amazing. It's amazing. It has changed our world in so many ways, but too much of anything great can be bad. And it causes harm to our students in their physical, mental well-being. You know, the kids no longer go out and play with social media, video games, cell phones. Students have become physically inactive and they reach for a quick snack that is usually high in calories, high in carbohydrates, processed. You know, those are all quick fixes for hunger. Students need this education to make better food decisions. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Jade, and Jade is going to go in and talk to you how to make these better food decisions. Like, what can we do to help and to teach these students? What tools can we give them so that no matter what their socioeconomic status, no matter what they're going through at home, they can go ahead and make the best with what they have. After you hear from Miss Jade, you're going to hear from Amy, who is going to go over how to help you incorporate that physical activity into your classrooms to keep these students from being restless, to help them focus more and find some way outlet to release that energy. So without further delay, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Amy. Thank you, guys.